So what brings you guys in?
Do you want to tell her?
I mean, in general, we're just not doing great, I would say. But you're making a face already, like I'm saying something wrong.
No, we have been doing better. I mean, it's not awful, it's just not great, but everything doesn't have to be great, does it? It's not all about being great all the time. Basically, what's happening is there have been certain things that have happened recently that she is a little upset about some of the choices that I've been making. Um, but it's not even choices that reflect my feelings towards her or her family or anything. It's just specific things that I need to do in order to support our family and make sure that our family has a roof over their head and make sure that financially we are secure and able to do the luxurious and lovely things that we like to do as a couple.
I'm glad you just got right to the problem, which is, as you heard, Tyler thinks so. Okay, so my grandma died recently, and Tyler refused to come back from work to go to the funeral, and just likes to undervalue everything and say nothing is a big deal, as if I'm making a big deal out of everything, but can't even acknowledge when something actually is important, just justifies it away.
So guys, if you don't mind, refresh my memory again on your intake forms. I think I saw that you listed Jewish and you listed Protestant. Is that correct?
Sure.
I guess I'm just curious to hear more about if that plays any type of role in y'all's relationship.
Yes.
It happened before, but it apparently has now. So apparently, which I was not aware of until this event happened, that the funeral for individuals who practice Judaism, once someone passes, the funeral happens pretty promptly after. However, I had a business trip planned, and it was one of the most important quarterly trips that we had planned as a company, and one that my attendance is mandatory for. And unfortunately, we didn't really account for the passing of a loved one. And while I wasn't able to attend the funeral, sadly, I sent my condolences and sent a beautiful bouquet and a handwritten note to express not only my genuine sorrowness for what had happened, but also the sorrowness for the fact that I wasn't able to attend and it wasn't good enough. And I don't know what else to do because that's all I could do.
There's a lot to unpack there. I can hear kind of a frustration there. It sounds like you really wanted to attend this.
He did not want to attend the service.
Oh.
No, that's why he stayed on his business trip. And part of this is that he thinks that our cultures, they don't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm a white Jewish woman, he's a black Protestant man, but in reality, he was totally not valuing that my grandma died, and if you're not going to come back for a funeral, when is something going to be important enough to come back for work?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, when is it going to be enough? And it just seems like you think your culture is superior to mine. I think that's what this is really about.
So you guys, I can see that things are really heated and a little tense in here. And I think that is very important, and we are going to explore that and get to that. Right now, if you don't mind, I would really love it if we could just kind of go back to the beginning. If you could tell me how you guys first met.
Yeah, so I was good friends with her brother. We played basketball and we had some game nights and things together, and there was a game night in which she attended, and we where we were playing the game, we were participating together. We were actually on the same team, so that kind of
How did you
helped.
feel about that?
You know what I'm saying? I actually felt great and actually showed how I've seen a side of her that I never thought I'd ever see. I mean, granted, it was one of our first times meeting. We had met each other in passing before, but there was always this interest and always this desire to get to know more about her. And I felt like that was an opportunity for me to do so. And it was great. You know, were very, we were competitive, but in a fun way. We were on the same team. We were collaborating together. We were even conspiracizing against the other teams and plotting some things against the other teams. And it made me appreciate not only her creativity, but just also the fact that she was able to engage in that gameplay with me, and it was a lot of fun.
I can see that it kind of brought a smile to your face a little bit. Jane, what is your recollection of how you guys met?
I mean, right now I'm just like, even hearing that, I'm just annoyed just because it's like he's talking, it seems like this time that just doesn't even exist anymore. I mean, he's talking about, oh, how much fun we had. Well, it seems like now we're not allowed to have fun. Maybe that's what he liked about me in the beginning, but now.
What did you like?
About what?
About the beginning. I mean, you guys have disclosed that you've had years and years of a relationship. I'm curious if you remember anything in the beginning that you did enjoy.
There's so much just to think about it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think in the beginning, it did feel like that night he's talking about, like, it did feel like we were on the same team. And I liked that feeling about things. Like, now it's just like I'm always feel like we're on different teams. And like with this, my grandmother dying, it feels like just we're not on the same, it's like we're not connecting and not on the same team. And so the thing that I'm missing is that feeling like, oh, we're on the same team and we're having fun together and doing things together.
Yeah, that sounds really important. I'm wondering what it would be like if you were to turn to Tyler and share that with him.
The thing that I miss about the beginning, or now that was in the beginning of our relationship, was that it felt like we used to be on the same team and that we got to do things that were fun, but mostly that it just felt like we were on the same team when we did things together. And when I think about when we first met, it was symbolic of that, doing things together on a team.
And Tyler, what was it like for you to hear that from Jane?
It felt good, but also a little concerning because I always thought we were on the same team, and it seemed like this event of the passing of your grandmother created a ripple in that. And there's also been other things that have happened along the way, but us being on the same team was always something that I believed that we were doing, and we're always striving towards the same thing, I thought. So the fact that she sees us as not teammates now is a little concerning, and definitely want us to get back to that page of being on the same team, because
Concerning in what ways?
it's just concerning because here I am operating under the assumption that we are on the same team. I'm doing everything so that I can help not only like her, but the family in general. We have, a kid together, and she had a daughter in a previous relationship. So just supporting the whole family unit is important to me. And the fact that we have so many individuals together in the family, but she doesn't believe that I think we're on the same team, that's what's concerning.
How did you hear when you heard him say that?
Well, I mean, he's skipping over so many details about that I think the idea that we're on the same team maybe is just like in his head, but to me that it's really obvious that we're not. I mean, there are other things. He didn't mention the fact that my daughter, Sarah, who lives with us full time, won't even talk to him right now, and he just hasn't even, he won't even really, it seems like he doesn't even really care. Like he just he has just resigned and thinks like it's all her fault, even though she's a kid, she's a teenager. And
That's a lot to unpack, right? Like I feel like we should. It sounded really important that you said feels like your daughter feels like your husband doesn't care about her. Is that correct?
I mean, that's what seems obvious to me. Yeah.
Tyler, how do you feel about what Jane just said?
Yeah, I obviously care about her kiddo. I mean, it's our child now. It's not just hers. The fact that she believes that is kind of not reflected to my actual feelings. The whole reason behind us not being on the same page and talking was because so my son, Ben, our son, Ben, was misbehaving, and as a result of his misbehavior, I had to spank him. And because I chose to spank him, Sarah saw it, and when she saw this, she had a reaction. And now,
Because in school, they talked about abuse, and she was not raised prior to our relationship. I did not use any physical discipline when she was growing up. So she responded very strongly when she learned in school about physical abuse.
So in the beginning, when y'all were having conversations about getting married, was talking about how to rear your children a conversation that you guys explored?
a little bit, but
I mean, we had those conversations.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, we have those conversations. Specific details, like as far as spanking goes, because growing up where I was raised, that was the way that we fixed our issues. An issue would occur, there would be a strict disciplining punishment that would happen, and then we would just move on to whatever else that we had to do after that. So that's exactly what had happened with Ben. He had done something he shouldn't have done. He was spanked, and then we're moving forward, and now he knows that behavior is no longer acceptable, which is the exact way that we were raised.
But you're just seeing that as like Sarah should just accept that objectively, but she doesn't understand these different ways. And so now you haven't taken the time. You think, oh, I just talked to her once about it and she didn't get it, but I did it, so check that off. But she's still really upset, and you have stopped trying to talk to her. And I think that's just the same as like the funeral thing of like, oh, just check off I can't come back, but I sent the flowers, I did this, I did that, check it off the box, and not really seeing the full picture of it.
Well, I don't know what you want me to do then. I mean, I can't be there, so the most I can do is what I did. I sent a letter, I sent these bouquets, and then with Sarah, I tried to talk, but she doesn't want to, so maybe they'll teach her something in school about it that apparently we can't talk about at home.
So I can see that you guys tend to get really heated really quickly. And I'm curious, has it always been that way when you were first dating? Is this how you guys handle conflict?
We handled it in a variety of ways. I mean, at first there wasn't a lot of arguing. I mean, we had a lot of fun together. We talked about different things that we enjoyed to do together.
What types of fun events did you guys have together?
I mean, well, we would go to some of each other's favorite restaurants, and we would always talk about different things that we wanted to do in the future and all these future plans that we had, and how much fun, as far as like game nights were just one of the examples, of all the fun things that we used to do. But now it just seems like there isn't as much fun, and
there's not fun anymore.
Ooh,
Tyler is very about working, and I get it. Yeah, you feel like you have to take care of the family, but also it just feels there's no room anymore for just having fun and connecting. And when I try, it seems like that's what drew Tyler to me, but now it's just not.
Yeah. Well, I can see here that maybe an idea that I'd like to try with you guys is to kind of bring back immediate fun. I have this handout for both of you guys. And it's kind of like you can treat it like a game. On there is a list of questions of kind of ways to build intimacy and maybe talk about getting to know each other a little better. I know that you guys have known each other for years, but there are some questions on there that you could ask each other, kind of game show style, if you'd like.
I like games. I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, so I want you to name one of my favorite restaurants.
I feel like it's gonna have to do with chicken sandwiches because that's your favorite food is the chicken sandwich. So probably, well, Chick-fil-A if it's fast food, but fancier. Caroline's, they have a chicken sandwich.
That's right. Look at that.
Is that right? Yeah.
It is. It is.
And
Yeah, I love
how does,
chicken
how does
sandwich.
that feel to know that she was able to guess that question right?
Yeah, no, I didn't think that she was actually I didn't think she was aware of the fact that Caroline's is one of my favorite restaurants. We've been to it a couple times, like our first few independent dates, words to those restaurants, and the fact that she remembers that from such long ago is kind of reassuring and happy a little bit. So, yeah.
Right. And now if you'd like to try.
What is my favorite getaway place?
Favorite getaway place. You love to walk around a lot, and you love enjoying different plants and succulents. So I think one of the favorite places that we used to go to that you like is East Austin Succulents. Would that be good?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that, but that is definitely one of my favorite, at least when we're here in Austin, that's one of my favorite places to go.
And how do you feel that Tyler?
I mean, we haven't been there forever. I feel like I even kind of forgot that it existed, like it wasn't even in my mind.
Well, what would it be like if a little bit of homework is to maybe go to your favorite restaurant and then go for a walk at the succulent place?
That'd be fun. Yeah, I think we could definitely start to do more activities like that, bring the kids around, and make it about a whole family exercise. And we could definitely do some more fun things like that. I would really appreciate it if we did that.
All right. Well, we'll start there next week.